Hello, this is Gabi from Berroco's Virtual Yarn Tasting, and this is number 5 out of 5 of the presentations of the new Berroco yarns for the Spring-Summer 2019 season. And we have before us the Estiva, Berroco Estiva. In Berroco's words, Estiva has it all. Incredible yardage, check. A tape yarn made of 100% cotton that's super soft, check. And gorgeous gradient colors that fade from dark to light, check. Yep, the checks are confirmed. But I think there is even more to say about Estiva. First of all, here's the M&M swatch. Yes, it's a t-shirt yarn. It stretches in all directions. The nice thing about the Estiva is it gets back into shape. After blocking, I notice that's probably getting a little bit wider, but it's still in shape to give the proper shape for the gauge that you expect. You can see it here. It's labeled as a gradient yarn, and you can see it here. It starts light in the center and then gets darker to the outside. But even within what looks like the same color section, you have these little differences in color, which makes it even more vivid. Estiva comes in 8 colors, which sounds like it's not really that much, but I will tell you it covers the whole spectrum, and you can see many of them here. The crochet sample is made in the black, and then there's a red, a green, and turquoise natural colors, the blue and the curry yellow, which is a very sunny version of the color. So pretty much whatever color you feel like, it will be covered, I'm pretty sure. All right, let's talk a little bit about the pattern support for this amazing yarn. And this is where I want to show you actually 2 skeins or 2 cakes of the same color run. And you will notice that they both, this one doesn't show it that well, but you will, okay, now it does, that they both are structured the same. They are light in the center, dark on the outside. Light in the center, dark on the outside. And that will be relevant once we start looking at the patterns. Also, just a little word about those cakes. The samples that you get may or may not show the whole gradient range because there's just not enough on it. But Berroco packed them into these cakes, and each of those cakes is 336 yards in 5.3 ounces of very super soft t-shirt tape. Let's take a quick look at the patterns. I will tell you that I am personally not a big fan of tape yarns, but probably that is because I remember the tape yarns from the 1970s and 1980s when they were scratchy, not bendable, the colors were kind of dull, they didn't keep the colors, which is another thing. This is like as soon as you wash them, like whoop, the whole thing just washed out and faded very quickly. The more I sampled the Estiva, the more I have been reformed to the degree that I actually start to like the Estiva, because it is soft, it has beautiful colors, it feels like your favorite t-shirt, and with the blocking, I think the blocking just brought out even more the beautiful colors. And with all yarns, I will have that in a little comment on on the Facebook in the Facebook group, none of the yarns bleeded when I blocked them. And this was a big surprise for me, particularly for the t-shirt tape Estiva, because I expected it to just bleed, and it did not. So very surprisingly. I have not yet machine washed it. Berroco claims in the description that you can machine wash it, as you can t-shirts. So I will try that and report about that later. But again, so let's stay focused here on the pattern. The other thing that I was a little bit concerned about is, look at this beautiful jacket here, and I'll show you the picture on the inside, which is even more descriptive. Look at here, how the gradients just go from light to dark and light to dark on each of the sleeves. And here, to me, this was like, yeah, right. I have done so many projects where it was so difficult, if not impossible, to get the colors to match on different pieces. This is like, I'm not getting into that. However, and how clever, I will tell you, the key to success with Estiva is that Berroco in the description, in the instructions, give you explicit instructions on how to use those cakes. For example, here for the Nera, to ensure gradient pattern is similar to the sample shown above, work from the cake as follows. For size 36 to 52, start at the beginning, the dark colored part of a new cake for each sleeve, and so forth. I think you get the idea. So the pattern instructions tell you exactly for different sizes where to start, how much to use, and it's just absolutely brilliant. So the matching is guaranteed by different sizes. They give you instructions, look, start here, now stop, start there, now stop, use the rest of them, and there are a few other tricks and tips. So I think this is absolutely the engineered yarn with brilliant pattern instructions. Let's just take a quick look. Here's the Leary, and you can see here the Leary starts at the tip and then works down to have the gradient here at the end, which is just absolutely beautiful. And this is, I think, one of my favorites, the sundial. Take a look at the construction of this summer top. You have this radiant sundial here, then add the sleeves, and then you knit with the rest of the yarn down until you pretty much run out, or it's long enough, whichever one comes first, to make maximum use of the gradient colors and have them match in the front and the back and what have you. So I just love this. Here is Myra, which is a very simple garter stitch with a very pretty and intricate and smart little border. And then we have a crocheted bag, Magra. And if you see here, it has, probably you can see it even here a little bit better. It goes from dark to light, and then, you know, up here it's dark again. How do they do that? Well, they tell you exactly in the pattern. Start, you know, with the dark side here, and then add row, blah, 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 stop, and start using the other cake. This is like, wow, I love this. So I'm really excited about it. Probably shows, yes, I admit. Then last not least, here's the onion, and just take a look in a brilliant way. This onion, by the way, is another summer poncho top. But you know, how did they get the gradients? And they work with three cakes at the same time. How did they get the gradients right? And it's sure enough explained in the pattern. So I'm really thrilled about this one. If you have an engineering nature and love to follow along using the cakes in a certain way, this is so much fun, fun, fun. So, all right, I think that was it about the Estiva. Yeah, and this was our last yarn presentation. I'm looking forward to see what you have to say about Estiva, and if you are as excited about it as I am, or any of the other yarns, of course. Since this is our last presentation, I wish you all a very amazing season of spring and summer knitting with the new Berroco yarns. Goodbye.